So we had a question. It was actually more of a discussion that opened up while we were helping out a new licensee of DecoNetwork. They were, just getting set up, and they were having some trouble understanding, you know, the difference between how you sell a blank product versus how you sell a pre-designed product in DecoNetwork. And that's really something that um, that's important to understand right from the start. There are those two different types of products, and they're listed through two different pages on your website. So let's just run through that real quick. Um, and I'm going to explain, I guess, what we recommend is kind of the ideal setup, depending on what you're doing. So let's go into the page editor for my main site here. All right, and essentially what we're looking at is these two pages here. So we have products, which is going to list your pre-designed products. And then we have create, which is going to list your blank items. And depending on what types of products you're looking to work with, that's going to determine which page you're really going to focus on. So the specific example that I'm recalling was a customer who was looking to sell more kind of non-decoratable as-is products. So things like charms, bracelets, accessories, headbands, that type of thing. They were also looking to do, the customizable apparel, but kind of as an add-on, not necessarily as the focus. Um, and so they were kind of confused by this secondary products page and how that played into the system. So the feedback that I would give to someone that's struggling with, um, where do my products display on the site? How should I set up my site? Is if you're if you're adding your own products and those are non-decoratable products, you're going to focus on using the create page. The second scenario would be you're focusing on customized apparel or customized really anything. Once again, you're focusing on the create page. That's going to list your products with the option to customize or decorate. Really, the only case where you're going to focus on the products page is when you're going to take one of those blank customizable items, you're going to add a design onto it through the DecoNetwork system, and you're now wanting to sell that combined blank plus design. In that case, you're going to actually focus on the products page. So let's assume that we're not that last model. We're one of the first two, which are the most common. How do I actually clean up my site to reflect that functionality? Right. So what you're going to do is you're going to click into the pages section. And let's start by clicking the products page, which again is showing our pre-designed items. What I would recommend is to just relabel that from products to pre-designed products and set the page status to off. So we're actually going to turn that page off. Let's save to apply that change. And I'll repeat that same process for the designs page. So one of the things that trips people up is just the amount of different workflows that are available through the site. You can pick a design, or you can pick a blank, or you can go straight to the designer. Having too many kind of paths can introduce friction into your shopping process, right? It can confuse the customer in terms of they don't know where to go to actually make the purchase. So what I recommend is limiting that, if possible, to one workflow, one path that they take to purchase from you. And so what I'm going to suggest here is also turn off the designs page. So turn that one off. All right, and then lastly, we're going to select our create page. So this is the one that I'm going to focus on, being that I'm offering my apparel to be decorated. So I'm going to focus on the create page, and I'm actually going to relabel it to products. So I like the products naming. I want my customer to know that this is where they go into to start designing and choose that blank that they're going to design on. So I'll relabel that to products and then save that change. All right, and then lastly, I'm also going to turn off that designer. Again, I don't want anyone jumping straight into the designer. I want them to kind of browse my product selection first, pick a blank that they like, and then jump into the designer. I'm going to select the designer page and set that to, actually, I'm going to leave it on. I'm going to uncheck show in menu and save that change. All right, so yeah, that's essentially what I would suggest. Now let's publish those changes and we can just see how those look on my live site and what the benefit there is. So I'm going to compare kind of the way I'm using it now. Uh, if I was someone coming onto this site and I didn't necessarily know, um, where I needed to go or how the site function works, I might be confused by, there's a page here called products. There's a page called designs, a page called create, and a page called designer. Those are four unique different paths that I could take to purchase from this website. Versus if I refresh the page now and pick up the changes that I just published. So now we can see here, it's a lot cleaner. I really just have one path that my customer can take, which is the products page. So they land on my site. I could list some products on the homepage if they want to get started that way, or I could even eliminate. I would actually let's go back and do that. I would actually recommend to again clean up the path quite a bit. So I'm going to come down here and just remove these products widgets. So latest products, I'll just get rid of that. And product categories, I'll get rid of that. The only thing I would recommend, if you do want some kind of products on your homepage, maybe dropping your best sellers, like your top 5 styles that, they're your best sellers. You might drop a widget in that pulls from a category where you have those best sellers filed. Let's imagine I had a section here called, best top t-shirts. I'll click that category and now I'm showing my top t-shirts on my homepage. So that's the only thing I would really recommend. Beyond that, you don't want, someone browsing through all of your products on the homepage. The homepage really is more to kind of give the customer information, have them land there and learn about, the services that you offer and things like that. And then as far as the actual purchasing and things like that, again, you want them to go down a sales funnel. And the best way to do that is to keep it down to that single funnel, or you may open it up to a couple options, but I typically recommend just the one to make it super simple, super easy for your consumer to do business with you. All right, so I could come in here, click the drop down and say, you know what, I'm looking for some hats. So I'll click the hats category. These are the hats that I'm offering now. My customer can click into any one that they like and they can start designing. All right, so it still offers that ability to go in, design on an item. It's just about focusing the path that you want your consumer to take, making it super simple, making it easy and clear. That's, I think, the most important, is making it clear to the consumer how it is that they're supposed to shop through your site. All right, so hopefully that last tip helps out there. We are out of time for today's session, so we'll leave it there. Feel free to join us next week. We'll be back on Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern time here on YouTube. And hope to see you all here again next time. Take care.